Hello all my SkinClub people, Anders here, and we're gonna go through one of the more exciting games that happened recently during the CAC where FUT, or however you want to pronounce it, managed to take down FaZe not once but twice. The first one's a best of one on Mirage, and second time they actually did it in a best of three. Now, I was gonna ask the question, just for the best of one, was it an upset? Now, they did it again, kind of proving it wasn't just a fluke or an upset or anything like that. I guess it was an upset, but not a fluke. But I still want to go through that first Mirage game. You have to remember, well, let's just dive into it, and I'll explain why I think this is interesting. Just, if we look at FaZe on Mirage to begin with, let's see if we can do this. So, FaZe on Mirage have about a 72% win rate with 18 maps played in the last 3 months. So, this is a map that they play a lot, and that they should, most people would say, not be losing to a team like FUT. Now, I personally think people are underestimating FUT a lot. I think they are better than people expect. I said as much at the start of the tournament. Obviously, the old core of the Na'Vi Junior team with a couple of interesting additions. And I think it's awesome. I think Krabani is a really good captain, and I think this team should be taken more seriously. Maybe they will in the future. Maybe I can convince you guys in this video. Anyway, we're going to go through the Mirage game in classic fashion, where we just kind of try and walk our way through, you know, a little bit, one step at a time. I am going to do some cope in this one, because I think a lot of the reason why FaZe didn't crash out and lose really hard is because Frozen and Twist just played really well. Now, maybe you'll say that's a silly thing to say. If they play well, why would you take that sort of away from FaZe? Maybe that is unfair. Maybe that's not totally rational. But there's a little part of me that feels like they would have lost so much harder if it wasn't for those two. We're gonna start here with what I just think is an interesting kind of scenario. So this kind of a pistol opening for FaZe is actually not that uncommon for a lot of teams. So you got one player that's playing far back on A. Then you've got one or two players here, and the rest of the team run this way. And the logic here is that Frozen, when he gets here, if there is a B rush coming, you know, classic B rush, he's probably going to be able to footsteps. He's going to, you know, flashes are coming over, smokes and everything else. And then in that case, he can stick around. And if not, he's going to go in and kind of help out in this position. So I really like this opening. It's really cool. A lot of people do it. And I kind of thought, you know, is there a chance that it's so good that FUT would kind of know that Krabani and the rest of the crew have done the homework? So I thought, actually, let's test out that proposition. And here's what I did. So I went into the pattern finder, and I decided to look for pistol rounds only, where we have, you know, player movement either in the window here, or the other player box is up here. So, and I set the timeline to be early in the round, so down here at the bottom. So I wanted to make sure for both these boxes, are there any FaZe players in this? And it turns out that's about... Did I screw up the box already? Maybe I did. Anyway, that's going to be about 9 or 10 rounds here where that happens. And I found the 9 rounds, and look at how often... This is in 3 months, right? So very, very similar idea here up against, what was this? Bait. Here they are against FUT, so this is the FUT one that's found. It's cool, that's good. Here's the one against Vitality. Similar idea. You could see the logic of it. You're sort of backing with Vitality, smartly no. So they're going to be walking instead of running. Similar idea here. I think there are a couple of these rounds that don't quite match. Similar idea. This time they're super ready. So it's just to say that there's a lot of evidence that FaZe like running this opening, and I think FUT knew that. And as a result, you know, they should be in a great position to try and open up with. Now, Brokey, I don't really know how, but he gets this kill through the smoke. Seems ridiculous. Jacob gets one, and then he gets sort of overwhelmed, which I guess is to be expected. Brokey comes with the smoke, gets another one. So they end up losing this round, but I just want to point out that you probably don't... I mean, it could just be coincidence. I can't read their minds, but there's a part of me that wants to say, this is the sort of strategy that you run if you have a great idea of what's coming, if you've done the homework and you've been practicing and all the rest of it. So I think it makes sense. Second round, we're going to see a pretty good stack here. Krabani's trying to fake out the A bomb site. They are buying it a little bit with Brokey running back. Kerrigan and Frozen are here, but they just do such a good job. And again, like I said, Frozen and Twist are going to be two players that I'm going to be looking for. But honestly, this is just, you know, it's a force-up round. They don't win it, and then they go into a pistol round where, you know, they do some good damage, to be fair to them, but they just can't really win it. So, I don't know. It's not too exciting to analyze. round. I haven't looked at all these rounds in depth, so it's possible that we'll discover something new as we go along. Oh yeah, so this is a round where they want to go for a much faster A execute with Krabani lurking around the middle, but he gets kind of exposed here with a, you know, one grenade. He's thinking, okay, that's it. Like, they already blew open the smoke, and then there's a second one. Sick strategy as well from FaZe. Like, a lot of credit to them. It's Jacob to open up, and then they get lonks here, and Jacob ends up dying. And then Demon, actually, I think this is the one where he comes in with a kill or two. It's into a 3v3. They have a ton of these, and this is another reason why rewatching this game before I recorded this video, I mean, I just kind of browsed through all the, you know, it took me maybe 5 minutes to go through. I had this feeling there's so many 3v3s that FaZe could have lost. Like, you can see they go on this 8-round streak. There's so many opportunities for that to happen. Anyway, Carrigan, then Twist, then Carrigan, and they end up winning it. So, nice 3v3 for FaZe. But, you know, if you're on the side of FUT here, you're going to be thinking, okay, we lost a 3v3 with the bomb planted. That's great. Like, you're probably more than halfway to success in that round. So, keep it going. Now, let's see. Round number 5. Let's see if we can... not even sure. Alright, so this is one where they want to sort of split the bomb site here. They have some utility. They go in for the middle. Brokey's in this position. Gets the very, very clean shot. And this is one of the rounds where, again, just individual firepower on FaZe is so hard. Brokey's taken 3 kills. So whatever the hell their plan was, you start landing shots like these from just one central position. That's hard to deal with. But if we zoom out a bit, right? If they can get the kill on Brokey here, or just force him back, that's it. Everybody else on FaZe is really far away. It's just Carrigan back here at the site, right? So, again, I realize that I sound like I'm just making up a bunch of excuses for FUT, but you can see that they know what they're doing. They have the right idea. Losing to Brokeys, I mean, it happens. They do a lot of damage once again, so it sort of does end in a, 2v2 for a brief second here, but then Twist and Jacob are alive. But again, I just want to say, they get close in these rounds. These aren't rounds where it's just like, oh, that's it. FaZe do a good job, and they have the individual firepower, and that's sick. Here we go. So this is Krabani getting, or Krabini if you want, getting boosted up into the window. It's a nice idea. He hears Brokey running away, so in his mind, he's thinking, like, I don't even think he realizes... Yeah, so the thing is, he knows that Twist is going to be playing near this position. He can't know if that's Twist or Brokey or somebody else, and he just makes a bad assumption. It happens, and then they kind of go from there. But still, good job from Twist overall. Jacob, and then Frozen inside of the site. Demon's going to get 1 kill here, but they pretty much get wiped out. This is a more convincing round. Sucks for FUT, I suppose. This one, again, we're speeding through the start of it, otherwise the video is going to be really long. So they get into the middle, like this position from Lonks. So this, by the way, is a classic setup. Like, if you're watching Counter-Strike in the future on Mirage, anytime you see T's get into these positions, here, in here, I would argue in here to some extent, depending on what the rest of the round looks like, but certainly these 2 positions, there's so much strategy that could be played around that position. You can sort of use it as a pivotal point to rotate around. Super cool. Super interesting to watch for. So anyway, Lonk's great position here. Should be very winnable, but unfortunately Jacob catches him. Don't know if... I guess when the smoke is gone, like, he's hoping to just find some timing there. But I sort of wish that he would wait until more attention's been taken away. But still, it's not bad. They get Carrigan, and then I think this is where Demon makes the jump on over. Yeah, so they get both Carrigan and... then Demon gets the jump on over. So sick round from him. 3 kills. And again, look at it. 2v3, right? If you had to just pause right here, it's not even cope. You could say, FUT have done a great job in this round. Like, this is really well done. But then Brokey shows up, gets 1, gets a second, and then Frozen coming in for the final kill. So, onto Demon in this, he's pretty exposed and actually probably getting shot from the other side. So anyway, just another close round that's lost. I know it's 7 in a row now, about to be 8. This one, just pistols. They start with Demon. This is such a crazy shot on the Jacob, by the way. Look at the timing. Like, he's just dead instantly. But then, and look at the setup here. If not for Twist being in the bomb site, look at what's happening. Brokey is almost certainly going to get smoked out. I don't actually know, but I'm assuming, like, coming in from this position. Frozen is here, and he can try and hold this or maybe reinforce. But otherwise, Twist is the only real force on the bomb site. Now, luckily, Twist is sick, so he's going to get 2 kills. And then, yeah, it's Frozen coming in. There's a sliver there where he could see through. So again, Frozen and Twist, like I said, they did so much to make sure that FaZe stuck in this game early on and weren't easy to take down. And that's just, I think it's just the truth of it. Through they go, and then it ends up with, you know, this one, which is sort of a... But for a second there, it's like a 3v4. Then there's a kill for Jukes. Demon picks up another kill, so we're back into another 2v2. It's so crazy close, and it's Carrigan and Frozen winning it. But you see how many rounds? I'm hoping I'm not just sounding like a crazy fan, because I am sort of a fan of this team. I like FaZe too, don't get me wrong, but I just think what FUT is doing is super cool. And I thought so even back when they were Na'Vi Junior, right? Cemetery, Demon, Jukes, Krubani were all there. They lost Makaze. They picked up Lonks. I like Lonks as well. I think he's super good. So I still think this team is super fun. And I hope you guys can be converted. That's what I'm trying to do, convert you into being FUT fans. This one, they start off, this is one of the few rounds they win. Now, weirdly, some of the rounds they win, actually, they probably should have lost. But that's just the nature of things. They start with Twists going down. Nice jump on over from Twist. I like it, but he does get caught. There's a bit of a gap in that smoke. Hold on. I just instantly realized something. Don't tell me that's intentional. Sorry. I only realized I derailed my own point. Okay, what I'm looking at is, look at the smoke here. Look at how it hugs the wall in all of these different rounds, right? Hugs the wall, and then in this one, it's further out. And presumably, it might not make a difference, but it sort of looks like Dukes has a sliver there that he can look through. I might have to go in-game and watch that to be sure, but how sick would it be if that's actually the setup? I will investigate. I will promise I'll learn more for the next time that we watch this. So anyway, they get that kill. They lose Demon in the middle to Brokey. Then they trade again in the window, and then Brokey's still in the middle. He's so sick. It's cool to see. Getting another kill, this time on this position. And then, this is interesting though. So, because Carrigan throws this flashbang for the middle, which is super cool, he runs, like this is being heard. So, Krabani knows it. He, though, has to walk. But it still means that he has a big advantage in this fight. He knows that he's going to find someone there, whereas Carrigan is just thinking there might be someone there. Now, it's still a pretty close fight, but it's just to say that the audio giveaway is what ultimately, I think, kind of undoes Carrigan in that moment. Then they put the bomb down. There's more audio here with Jacob jumping up, and Dukes, you know, walking in behind them. He's going to catch Brokey. It's all great. Good stuff. They win their first round of the game. Then we go into round number 10. And they lose this one, and I can't even remember how, so we're going to learn together. So they go for the middle. It's a great setup so far. They don't want to be fighting Brokey, who's sometimes playing here, so they try to get rid of him. But they haven't checked this position with Frozen. That's a bit rough. There comes another flash through the middle with Frozen peeking into it. And he's going to be good for that kill. Like I said, Frozen and Twist are so pivotal in this game. Another kill for Frozen. So otherwise, it's a decent setup, but Frozen is just a real demon in this one. Krabani comes through the kill. Dukes and Demon get a little bit, so we're back into another 2v3, favoring them. Twist gets one, turns around, even gets the one on Demon. So, like I said at the very start, I'm not going to say us Twist getting last one too. I'm not going to say that, you know, all I'm really trying to say is that without Twist and Frozen playing this well, this is such a different game. There are so many of these 3v3s, 2v3s that wouldn't have gone the way of FaZe, because FUT actually get themselves into good positions. They really do. Now, this is one of the rounds I think they probably should have lost. I love the setup in the middle, obviously. You could see that's 3 smokes and a Molotov and a flashbang. This is a hard sell that you are really taking mid-control, right? That's what this feels like. But for whatever reason, maybe it's the smoke in the middle that sort of backfires on them because Brokey decides to escape. But they actually have Frozen, they've got Carrigan, and they've got Brokey about to rotate into the window. That's a strong setup, right? You've sort of forced a position where the CTs have 3 and B, even though you wanted to hit the B bomb site really early. And look at how much damage is dealt here at the start, right? They do get the kill coming in, so they trade out Frozen, they keep on going, they find the kill on Carrigan back here. You could probably slow this round down, because this is this should have been a lost round. I really think so. Like, the grenade on top, the damage at the start. It's a good job that they fight their way out. Brokey's in the smoke. He's going to get found. Jacob, this is one of those moments where he's running through... Oh, it's a second Molotov. All right, I didn't even notice that. But so he's trying to run through one Molotov to help Brokey, and then they throw a second one, so now he's running through two Molotovs, and Brokey dies anyway. So, I don't... You know, heroic effort from Jacob, in my opinion. By the way, I'm going to be making a lot of issues with Jacob. Just be warned in the future. I think Jacob's being underappreciated still. So anyway, they win this round in spite of the odds, I would say. But still a good job nonetheless. Now, we're going to go into this one, the last round of the half here. And it's chaos in the middle. Finally, FaZe are out of money. You could probably say maybe FUT should have seen some of this coming. A lot of stuff is happening here. Like, it's really cool. Obviously, the three-man push into the middle from FaZe. The fact that Brokey realizes they're running behind him, so he goes to hide in the smoke and sort of comes out with a bit of a flank. It's actually really well played from Brokey. Gonna get two kills with the MP9. And then Carrigan, unfortunately, losing this fight up here. That's kind of crazy. Just rewinding a bit. Dukes, I think, should have been dead. So, yeah, some of the rounds here definitely interesting. And then they find Frozen. His Cemetery. He's got the AWP at range, so big advantage there. And they get Brokey, and it's down to Jacob, and he probably doesn't stand a chance here. So they win 3 rounds in the first half. But how many of these rounds were 3v3s, 2v2s, with Twist and Frozen helping out? A lot of them is the answer. So, interesting stuff. Pistol round, it's a similar idea. It's a very popular idea on Mirage, right? And Logs actually does run a bit, so that's probably a bit of a tell. So, this is so weird. Like, Twist, I think, fails this Molotov. But he obviously wanted to, presumably wanted a Molotov this position. And fair enough. That, the Molotov and then the decoy or whatever the hell this is. So, a very, very light way to sell it. Like, not that much. So, how on earth do they win it? They're actually out of position. Like, this is a miscommunication, misunderstanding from FUT. Demons here, they're already down on the low ground. He gets a kill. Longs gets a kill. Because I guess that's the thing. FaZe, they throw this smoke, and right before it pops, right, he's going to get this kill. So that's a bit of a sort of weird position for FaZe to be in. They have the entire bomb site to themselves, more or less. And they get slowed down. If they had that smoke up, they probably would have won. If they were faster to get out, they probably would have won. But anyway, it's a good job from FUT in spite of being in the wrong position. But like I said, there are some rounds where you say FUT probably should have lost it and they win it. So it is what it is. Second round here, we're not going to see too much out of FaZe, although I think they do some damage anyway. Let's not talk about it. Yeah, Twist gets a couple of kills. That's fine. Don't really care so much. Then, pretty quickly on, it's the third round in the second half here. We got Carrigan with a Deagle headshot. That's sick in the middle. Then there's a bit of a return. Then Brokey finding Demon over here by the B-bomb site. So, sort of annoying. And then it keeps on going. Yeah, it's Jacob this time to get one. Bomb planted. Jacob again. And then that's it. The round is pretty much dead. So, super weird round, right? They come into it with nothing but Deagles. And they somehow found the round. And then this is where you think the game is probably lost here, right? So 9-3 first half. That means it's going to be, 10-3, 11-3 at this point. Or I guess 11-5. But still, 11-5, it's so much of an advantage. This is a round where they decide to basically just go for it again. Everyone's sort of out of position. Duke's playing towards the ladder room. Demon is the only one on the site. Carrigan's already made his run past here. But Dukes is just... Oh, he gets the kill, but it still put these two players in a really weird position, right? So yes, he's in time to get the kill on Carrigan, but it might have been too late. Jacob through the middle. Nice kill, and that's pretty much the round. So great speed, great timing for FaZe. They do a lot of things right, obviously, although they wouldn't be in this position. And then FUT win all the rest of the rounds. So let's find out kind of if we can get a sense of what's happening in some of these rounds. It's always a little bit harder to analyze some of the CT side stuff because a lot of it is down to communication, but there's nobody here. Like, this actually is a theme that we're going to see. FUT are very sure that there are going to be a lot of executes onto this A bomb site, and as a result, they stack a lot in middle and towards A. And just to, show them that it's not completely crazy, if we go look at the FaZe playbook, for the last 3 months, T-side on Mirage, you're going to see B from apps is a strategy they like. Round win rate's about 44%, but they do it a lot, right? God, they play this map a lot. 27 rounds, right? But A split, heavy connector, That's still 10% of the rounds. A split heavy ramp, that's 9%. So combine these two, we're up to 19. That dwarfs the B ramp thing. Then we got some B splits as well, but we got A with split window boost, right? So in totality, if you start to add up all the A rounds, just even look at the bomb side attempts here, right? 65% of the time, FaZe go to the A bomb side. That's a crazy difference. I guarantee you a lot of other teams are going to be more even than that on a map like this one. So super interesting stuff for sure. You see like G2 just thinks, I didn't know if, I actually didn't check. But you can be pretty sure that that's probably going to be a lot more even for most teams, right? But for FaZe, all right, FUT themselves actually do it quite a bit, so that's interesting. But yeah, FaZe definitely love the A bomb site, and I think that's one of the reasons why they go for a lot of these early stacks here, where they kind of end up in this position. Anyway, they win one of these fights through. It's a bit chaos here. Jacob goes down. Oh, this is a round, yeah. They only have pistols on FUT. I do actually remember this round. So this is a crazy round. Again, they should not have been winning this round. I have no idea why. But Demon gets the jump on Frozen because he's so looking towards the connector. And Carrion's already low on health. It's a disaster. Yes, the bomb is planted. Carrion surviving the nade. And then, you know, ultimately, we're not really here to analyze all the kills. I think that's less important. But this is a freaky round. FUT should have lost it. I'm going to say that. And that could have been the end of the game, more or less. But they get one ticket back into the game. Now they have rifles. Now they have something to work with. And again, they're stacking this bomb site because they know what FaZe like to do. I think this... I'm going to give them the credit here. They've done their homework. They've done the research. They know what is happening. I think it's really sick. And again, to answer the question, which I almost answered at the start, was it a fluke? I don't think so. I think it's hard work. I think it's a good understanding of how FaZe like to play. I don't think it's a fluke at all. Jacob being traded out. Oh, sorry, Launch and Twist being traded out. Jacob getting the kill. Duke's getting one. And Frozen again. Back in action. Bomb planted. Or not quite yet, but it's going to be... They get a couple of great kills here at the start of it, right? So anyway, after plant's close. And, you know, you could say the same thing for FaZe that I did. I will say the same thing, right? When you're this close with the bomb planted, you're thinking, that's sick. Let's keep going. Another... I would say lean, not really a stack, but sort of a lean towards this side of the map. So thinking that could be happening. Demon back here. So they want to do this. There's definitely an attempt. You could see it with Twist over here. It probably would have been the exact same thing. I actually can't even remember, but yeah. So I think Twist is ready to probably do the same thing. Flash on over, Molotov this position, and then the rest go. But... something makes them change their minds. Like, they go back... That's interesting, right? I wonder what that is. I bet if we spent long enough, we could figure that out. Smoke down there. Actually, doesn't land in the window. That's kind of funny. Krabani's there. I couldn't immediately tell you what makes the difference. So, maybe they hear... Did they hear the jumping? You can't hear the jumping, can you? But either way... Do they see it? Oh, maybe that's it. That might be it. So they might be seeing Demon jumping, but certainly he throws down the smoke, and they decide... It's a short irrelevant point. I don't know why I'm so focused on that. They still try to fake the bomb site, hoping that it's going to work. It's a good idea, I think. They were spotted there. But Cemetery, Dukes, Krabani are all out here, so doesn't really work out. Not that they had a lot to go for, but interesting round. We go back in. They've got more rifles now on the side of FaZe. What are we going to be seeing from them? Twist coming in, trading out. And then they decide to pull everyone back. So Twist is playing a lot of these positions on its own. That's definitely true. Goes up at the Palace. They go for it. This is another A execute, which we know they love to do. But Launch is coming in from this flank. And nobody's really seeing that coming. So it's a huge flank, huge moment. Upsets everybody. Like, even if they get the kill on him, they have to trade back and forth. But it's another close round. 2v2. So again, FaZe got to be thinking, that's sick. Let's go for that A-bomb side again. Or at least it's something that they surely will be happy about. But they want to test this B-bomb side early. Lonks and Demon are ready. And actually they stay alive long enough. Oh, this is such a long time for FaZe to be messing around. Why is that happening? That's a... maybe a bit disappointing. Anyway, it's a 1v1, so again, you can't really blame them too much. But my feeling is that in this position, these two players need to be dead pretty quickly. I suppose one issue is that they don't have a lot of grenades down. So they don't, you know, Brokey has to be worried about someone peeking here. They don't have any Molotovs for these positions. Normally, I would say this back position here is also Molotoved out in a lot of these executes. So kind of a, you know, maybe down to utility that it takes a while for FaZe to clear out the bomb site. But the time that's bought there is allowing more and more players to rotate in. Dukes with a 1v1. Honestly, again, like another really close round. It's not just FUT that, you know, did a decent job on the T side in spite of not winning many rounds, right? FaZe have actually done a good job. Both could be true at the same time. Here we go in the middle, blowing this one open, exposing Carrigan a bit. It's a long fight. They try and fall back, and certainly Jacob is hearing this. The Twist, he can't really run is the issue, right? So he can't really catch them. And let's see, next kill is Frozen going down up here. Kind of bad timing. Twist goes down to Demon. And then the round kind of spirals out of there. So bomb is planted. That's kind of sick, I suppose. They get that. Round number 23. We are nearing the end of it here. And again, like I said, analyzing CT sides can be a lot harder because so much of it is down to communication and stuff that we just cannot know from not being on the voice channel with them. Classic setup. Obviously, we know this by now. You throw this lurk or this, you know, wall smoke here, and then you AWP or whatever else you do down the middle. And Symmetry just trying to get out before he gets spammed down. But yes, a good job. They get the opening kill. You love to see it. And then they're back expecting another A attack, right? Which, wow, what a turnaround from FaZe. What is the logic of this? So they get flashed in here. Longs and Twist kind of engage. And then the Incendiary. Okay. So at that point, and the smoke on top. So at this point, FaZe presumably are thinking, wow, we've really been exposed. Like, if we go for the A-bomb site now, they're going to know. So then they go back. And they decide, okay, let's turn it into... And interestingly, just because of the time, how much time passes here? We're at 53 seconds. Wow, we're down. It's another 30 seconds later. When these smokes go up, these smokes and this smoke and the Molotov, that could easily be for some sort of a B wrap instead. And because of the time that's involved, it would make sense for FUT to think, oh, they just left the ramp completely and went for it. So very interesting. But FUT are sticking around. They're not sort of biting down. So good call. Really good call. Krabani's here. Up on the box as well. So yeah, he knew. Really nice setup. There's a really smart setup for the CT side. Frozen trying to win the round regardless because he's sick like that. Twist as well trying to win the round. Like I said, Frozen and Twist like that. They've got a double kill each again. And Longs is there to just save the round. But crazy close. But this one, that round number 23 is a really great example, I think, of the kind of calling, the kind of leadership that Krabani's coming out with. Just very, very intelligent, not falling for any of the mind games that Carrigan was trying to do here. So we're down to the last round. What do they've got? They've got some utility, but not that much on the FaZe side. Smoke up, smoke in the window, counter grenade coming out. Another one on the Jacob, poor guy. I've got a lot of sympathy. Lonks. Ooh. Okay, so if you guys don't know, this box here, if you sit all the way out in the corner like some little rat, like Launch is doing, I say it affectionately, it's great to play rat Counter-Strike, you should do it. It's so hard to clear when you're coming in because you think you can see it, and then you can see, you actually see Carrigan looks away. He thinks he's already cleared the box. He's like, all right, that's it. And then someone's there anyway. So Carrigan should be dead. Jacob might be almost dead as well. They kind of boost up in the window. Going back to the playbook, window boost. It's not the most used one, but they have a pretty good win rate, like 73% win rate. It's pretty sick. So it's a nice idea. But Demon catches him, or Krabani would have. And then all they really got is like 2 low health players at the middle of it, so just the whole thing falls apart. So that, at the end of the day, is how FaZe ended up losing to FUT on Mirage. I think this is a sick game. I think it was really cool, and I really enjoyed this one. I might even go back in the future and look at the other series, like the best of 3 that they played. But Maybe I am, you know, a little bit too enthralled with the FUT team at the moment, but I don't think you can say this was a fluke. I think they were really well prepared. Some rounds that FUT should have lost, but like on the other side of it, if Twist and Frozen weren't so good, then they probably would have won a lot more, to be honest. So I guess you can make up your own mind. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below if I've convinced you, if I've converted you to a FUT fan. I want to know. I'm certainly going to keep on trying. And I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.